On today's episode of Empowering Women in Real Estate, the podcast, we're going to be talking about the iconic woman, how to use the power of style to become unforgettable with Afton Porter. Hi, I'm Karen Cooper, a wife, mom of three, real estate broker, team owner, and founder of Empowering Women in Real Estate. As a realtor, I've personally helped well over 700 families in my career, and now I help thousands of women from all across the country balance real life and real estate through daily inspiration, motivation, and actionable plans to increase their success. Listen in as I share stories and tips from my life and business and interview some of my favorite people. Hi there. I am so excited for today's episode. This is such a different topic. I think we've never done anything like this on the podcast. Afton is one of our speakers at the conference. We've never had a speaker like this. I've never been to a conference where I've seen a speaker like this. So I'm really excited to bring this to you. What Afton Porter does, and you're going to hear her share this in the episode, is she helps women to lean into the power of style. And before you turn this off, because you immediately hear that and you think, oh, I hate getting dressed. Oh, this is just about fashion. Oh, I don't want to look like somebody I'm not. I don't feel good. I'm too heavy, whatever it is. I just want you to pause for a second and I want you to listen, because what this is about making sure that your outside and your inside is in alignment and in agreement, because that completely changes how you present yourself to the world. It changes how you feel, and all of that changes how you function and your success level in your business. And what I love, and I'm not going to say a whole lot because this really, you're going to hear it all in this episode with Afton, but a lot of what we kind of talk about here is we talk about midlife too. I think a lot of us as women, if you have children, you gain weight during pregnancy. And for a lot of us, after pregnancy, our bodies look different. If you go through some health issues and breast cancer and things like I've done, our bodies look different. You go through menopause, our bodies look and feel different. And the problem, I think, for a lot of us as women is we wear so many hats, we have so many responsibilities, we do so many things that we don't take the time, and this is not a commentary about food or exercise or diet or anything. We don't take the time to really care for ourselves. And part of that is how we present ourselves. Think about your clothes. Do you maybe still have clothes from 10 years ago? And it's not that there's anything wrong with having clothes that are 10 years old, but sometimes those clothes represent a version of ourselves that kind of really isn't who we are anymore, or they don't even fit anymore. And so every time you open your closet, you feel bad because there's that beautiful dress that you used to love to wear that doesn't fit. And in your mind, you're thinking one day it's going to fit, and it never fits. And so it's just, there's such a mental component around this that I think we don't realize. So what I love about this conversation is this is not a conversation about fashion. This is not a conversation about style. It is, but it's not. What it is it's a conversation around mindset. It is a conversation around self-confidence. It is a conversation around worthiness. And that is a conversation that we all need. So I am so thrilled for you to listen to today's episode. Afton is going to be taking the stage at our Empowering Women in Real Estate conference at the end of September. This is really reflective of what we really try to do with our conference. Is it's not just, you can go to any conference, you can go to any YouTube video, you can go to any whatever and get more sales tactics. That's not what we do here. We really kind of approach you as the whole woman, not just a one-dimensional real estate agent. We are covering topics and helping you to learn skills that are going to help you to grow in every single way, which then, of course, helps you to grow in your business. So take a listen. I hope to see you at the conference in September. And until next time, stay well. Afton Porter, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here too.
So I would love for you to share with our audience who you are and what you do.
All right. So, when you walk into your closet and you're staring at your clothes, you have an important meeting to go to, you try on one, two, three, four outfits, 5 minutes late, and you're just rushing out.
Yes.
I help you get ready within 5 minutes, have your outfit ready to go, and you feel confident. You're nailing your personal style, and you can walk out that door knowing you can serve the people because you've taken care of yourself first and you're
Yes.
ready to go.
I love this so much. And when you and I were chatting on the phone before, I feel like, especially for women in midlife, we get to this kind of point where you just don't feel good anymore. You don't feel like yourself anymore. And it's like, it's such a struggle to get yourself ready, dressed, out the door. And in our business in real estate, and you work with a lot of specifically luxury real estate agents, which we'll talk about. But like, especially in our business, I feel like how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, it makes the difference in you being selected for the business or not, right?
Absolutely. The clothes that you wear are changing your brain.
Mm,
And you could walk out the door just from your outfit, feeling confident, or you could walk out that door feeling insecure, worried about your bra strap showing, worried about your stomach or your tush. And it can be a total game changer. Changing your outfit can change your whole entire day.
And I think any woman listening to this can really relate to that. Like, I can think about the moments when I get dressed and I feel good. And when you get dressed and you feel good, like you feel happier and you feel lighter and you're excited to go see people and you're excited to do things. And then on the days when I get dressed and I don't feel good and everything, like I don't want to be seen. I don't want to show up. I don't want to talk to people. So it does impact our mindset so much. So let's talk about that with the women that you work with specifically in real estate. And you work with a lot of luxury real estate agents. Can you kind of talk a little bit about kind of what you teach and the importance and all of that?
Yeah. So when I start working with someone who is a real estate agent and maybe they're stepping into luxury or they just want their brand to look luxury, they sometimes question if they look good enough, if they belong there. And so there's some of that mindset that can go on. They want to look the part.
Mhm.
And if you want to talk specifically about midlife women,
Yeah,
the clothes that used to work for them aren't
not
working
working anymore.
like
Yeah.
they used to. When you hit 40, 50, things start again changing for us.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just are very negative about those
Yeah.
changes and looking at ourselves and thinking there's something wrong with us.
Yep.
And it's mostly because there could be a couple different things going on. The clothes that you currently have in your closet fit physically
Mhm.
who you were maybe
Who
in the
you used to
past, and you're
be. Yeah.
trying to make that fit.
Hmm.
And also, the clothes that are in your closet might not fit you for the time
Hmm.
that you're in right now. We
Yeah.
evolve as women.
Yeah.
And when there's a disconnect, we
Yeah.
tend to blame ourselves for
Yep.
that and think
Mhm.
that there's something wrong with us when really we just need to be more creative. Like, think of our style. Like, when you're a young girl, a lot of us, at least for myself, would love to try new outfits and try new things, and it's just a fun experience. And then somewhere along the way, it just became very hard and heavy and
Yeah.
self-judgmental.
Yeah, it is. There's such, I love parallels, and there's such an incredible parallel with what you're talking about and what I talk about a lot and kind of teach about women in real estate and with our businesses. Like, because we evolve as people, and then the business that maybe we started building when we were in our 20s or 30s doesn't really reflect who we are or our life in our 50s and 60s. And it's exactly the same thing with our clothing. But yet I think, and so maybe you have a suggestion, but like, what is it that keeps us from giving ourselves permission to evolve? Is it that fear of change? Is it that fear of loss of who we used to be and just not fully embracing who we are now? Like, what is that, do you think?
Well, I think there's a lot of different reasons for different people.
Yeah.
But as far as our style goes, we have a habitual thinking.
Yeah.
We just are in doing the same thing. And then when we know we want more,
Yeah.
but we haven't made the changes within,
Mm-hmm.
then that's why we feel stuck. It's not that we're actually stuck. We're not a tree.
Yes.
We
that's right.
are able to make those changes, but it's just so hard to get outside. And that's why having a coach is so great, whether it's a real estate business coach or a style coach, to help find those areas that we don't see within ourselves to help us grow.
That's right. Because sometimes it is because we do feel stuck. And I love what you said, like we're not a tree, we're not really stuck. But when we do feel stuck, sometimes I think everything feels so insurmountable. Whereas maybe if you can just find a shift in one area, for what I do, it's maybe shifting something that you do in your business. For you, it's shifting how you show up through your style and through what you wear, that those subtle shifts can start to help you to like almost like blossom on the inside, right? Kind of becoming more of who you are.
Absolutely. And feeling safe to try new things and to bust that old identity that is keeping us where we are.
Yeah. There's so many jokes in real estate about, especially for those of us who've been in business for a long time, about, an agent, and I'm sure you've seen the memes like on social media, like somebody hands you a business card and you don't recognize them because it's their headshot from 1985. And it's that kind of fear of change. It's being stuck in that was our identity. It's being stuck in, I don't look as good. I don't feel as good as I did then. So therefore, I don't really want to show up. So can you talk, maybe just a little bit about how you do coach women to kind of help them to come out of that shell and to kind of lean into who they are? Can you talk about that just a little bit?
Yes, I would love to. And I also want to mention we should be updating our headshots.
Yeah.
Every year we're making slight changes to ourselves. And we are showing up as the woman that we are today.
Yeah.
And sometimes we feel we are not younger.
Yeah.
We are older, but it's a better way. We are more of our iconic self. You're bringing so much more of your wisdom, aging is a beautiful thing that we get to do.
Yep.
And my heart is helping midlife women see their iconic selves.
Yeah.
Now. They're iconic now.
Yeah.
And when we think of ourselves as iconic, and what I'm going to do at the conference is walk through a exercise that I have to help elevate how we're seeing ourselves, because there are those things that are bringing us down. Like, I am older. I should be farther along than I am. I'm not pretty enough. My pregnancy weight, all those things that we tell ourselves.
Yep.
That's not helping us show up as our most iconic self. And she's in there.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to walk you through an exercise at the conference that's going to help elevate how you see yourself. And in return, it's going to change how you're showing up for your business and your style.
I'm so excited. This is why I wanted you to come and speak at the conference this year, because I feel like this is one of those kind of subtle things that has a big impact. There isn't a woman I know my age, or, I'm 53, or in that kind of range, that hasn't battled with this, right? That hasn't at some point felt like, I'm kind of washed up. It's like you kind of forget all the wisdom and knowledge and experience that you've gained up to this point. And part of it, I think, which is kind of your point, is that when our outside isn't kind of matching how we see ourselves on the inside, then that disconnect keeps us from really showing up as who we are. I want to take just a minute to talk about the conference. and specifically about something that I think really gets missed in most event marketing. The women who come to the Empowering Women in Real Estate conference, they're not coming because they need to be fixed. They're coming because they're already building something important in their real estate businesses, something important in their lives. And they want their next move, their next level to be a bigger one. We don't want to be stuck at the same level, at the same plateau forever. And that's kind of what playing a bigger game means to me. That's a theme that I've held on to for decades in my business. And that's really kind of what we're talking about here. It's not about, just being louder in what you do in your business. It's not about working more hours. It's about showing up bigger and fuller as more of who you are, about being more intentional, about being more complete. And our speaker lineup really reflects that. I think especially the conversation that we're having with our speaker on today's episode. Business strategy and personal evolution in who the woman that you are becoming, that's really what we do. And if that sounds interesting to you, then you really need to be there with us in September. The link to register is in the show notes, or you can just go to our website, empoweringwomeninrealestate.com, and click on the conference. If you have any questions, just reach out. I'd love to have you there. And so when we can put just a little bit of effort and work into our presentation of our, think about all the work you put into the presentation of your listing or of your, of your marketing. Like, put a little bit of that into yourself so that can come out. Your talk at the conference is called The Iconic Woman: How to Use the Power of Style to Become Unforgettable, which is going to be so amazing. I have never been to an event where I have heard this before. I know you're planning to do a little exercise. Is there maybe another kind of line or two or something that you can share with our audience of what they can expect to walk away with from this presentation?
Yes. So they're going to learn how luxury buyers think and how their first impressions used to be 7 seconds. It's gone down from 3 seconds to less than a millisecond. People are making decisions literally as soon as they see you. We are bombarded with so many things on social media and, advertising. Everything is fighting for our attention. Yeah. We have to survive in this world, make decisions very, very quickly. It's literally immediately people can decide whether or not they want to hire you, be friends with you, all the things very, very, very quickly. So we want to make sure that our style is presenting ourselves in a way where people can read very, very quickly who we are, what we're about, and how we're going to serve because of all the psychological reasons that people are making decisions. And style is a key part of that we want to make sure that we are taking care of and paying attention to.
Can we just kind of talk for a second about authenticity? Because I feel like I can hear someone thinking, oh, this means I have to put on the clothes and pretend to be someone I'm not. But that's not it at all. Is that
absolutely not?
Yeah.
No, that's actually going to hurt you because that's going to take you back to when we talked about at the very beginning. If you are wearing an outfit that does not feel like you, you're still going to shrink, even if you spent a lot of money on it. It's a luxury brand and you think that's what you're supposed to be wearing. But if it is not in alignment with who you are and who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world, it's going to create that disconnect. And then you're going to feel that insecurity. And then it shows up in how you walk. And if you want to go talk to someone, how you're talking about your business, whether you hit that live to show up on social media. So absolutely do not hear me say that you have to dress or look or act a certain way. And I also firmly believe you should not be trying to copy somebody else. So even if you see another agent that you admire, we don't want to copy them. We need to show up as ourselves because of the same reasons. We want to be confident. And confidence comes from knowing that who you are is enough and that you are iconic. And when you really step into that, that's when you're going to attract your people.
This message is I think on the surface, someone might think, oh, this message it's just about, and for people, listening, you can't see me doing the quotes, but it's just about style or fashion. But it's not that at all. This is about permission to kind of really be yourself and to show up as yourself. And, we put, as women especially, we put so much time and effort and energy and emphasis into other people in our lives. You think about when you're a mom and you've got little kids, how much effort you put into, their clothes and their outfits, and then we're just throwing on whatever we can get. And so it makes a difference. I love that you mentioned about showing up on social media. Social media is a huge part of our industry and our business. It's a non-negotiable at this point, as far as I'm concerned. And anybody who knows me and follows me on Instagram, one of the things that I started doing, and it's for my own accountability, I made a goal for myself. One of my habits is I show up, I show my face, I turn on the camera, and I talk in my stories every day, Monday through Thursday. And what I realized is it was too easy for me because a lot of my appointments are at home or on Zoom. So it would be too easy for me to not really get dressed. And I noticed that when I wasn't really fully dressed for my day, I one wasn't ready to run out the door if I did have an appointment that popped up. Two, I didn't feel as good when I was doing my work. And three, I didn't want to show up. So I started taking a picture of myself in my mirror in my outfit every morning. And I do it not because I want to share my outfit. I do it because it keeps me accountable to showing up on social media, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like the clothes that we're wearing are getting us in the right mindset
Yep. That's right.
of what we're doing for the day.
Yeah.
You're not going
Exactly.
to wear a gown
Mhm.
to your Pilates class.
That's
Like
right.
we dress for what we are preparing ourselves for.
Yep. Yep.
And so I love that. That's such a great habit to be in. Just
Thank
showing
you.
up for yourself first so you
Yep.
could show up for your people.
That's right. Dress for the day you want to have. I remember there were seasons of my life and in my business, and anybody who's in real estate knows, we do have those moments. I think especially early on when you don't really have as much control over your schedule and you're just taking any opportunity that comes, you never know when that opportunity is going to come. You never know when someone's going to call and you need to run out and show property or whatever. And so I remember having those moments in my life where I didn't have appointments, so I wouldn't get dressed for the day. And then someone would call, and now I'm like frantic and scrambling, trying to get myself ready so that I can go and meet them and whatever. And so it's such a little shift that makes a difference. Before we wrap up today, I want to talk about color because you also do a lot of work around color. In fact, I think you're even going to be doing some color consultations for attendees at the conference. Can you talk about color and the impact that it has not only on us but how other people perceive us?
Absolutely. I love working with color because it helps women immediately see the difference of what colors help them shine.
Mm,
The way that I style women is so that all eyes go on them, their face.
yeah.
So from head to toe, we want this polished, cohesive look. So I look at your dominant color characteristics, which is your hair color, your skin color, your eye color, and your contrast level, which is the difference between your hair color and your skin tone, because we
Okay.
want to create this polished look from head to toe. Now, color can create, when I look at you, I'm looking at your face, or if something is off, my eyes are going to actually go away from your face. I'm going to be drawn away from you. One of the examples I like to share is if I went to one of my coaches' conferences one time, and she's not a stylist, so what she was wearing was very distracting. The colors were okay, but the contrast level was off. And so
Oh,
my
wow.
eyes kept on going down. And when you're speaking, we want to make sure that we're looking at you, right?
Yes.
And it's not because I'm a stylist I noticed. It's because I noticed because I'm a stylist that my eyes kept on going down. And it's because her
Yeah.
contrast level was wrong. And when we get our right colors and our contrast, we
Mhm.
create this cohesive look. But not
Mhm.
only that, I take their colors of the real estate agents and help make sure they're in line with their branding colors.
Oh, I love that.
Because if they're too bright or if the colors are off, then we look at the branding colors before we see them on their website and on their marketing materials and even on social media. We want to make sure that all of it is just this cohesive, beautiful. That's all I do with branding. I mean, I do help, with outfits. I help a lot of for their photo shoots and things like that. Make sure that that's all in alignment with their brand that they're wanting. And somebody in Seattle is going to have a different vibe than somebody in Arizona. Like you want to look at your market and who you're trying to attract and all of that. But it all goes with you because you are your brand, as we know.
Oh my gosh. That is so, one of our other keynote speakers on day one, this all fits together so beautifully. Literally the name of her talk is You Are Your Brand. So like how perfect is this all kind of marrying together? I love what you said about the distraction. And I think we have that from time to time. An easy example would be, if you're like having lunch with someone and you notice they have like some food stuck in their teeth, like you almost can't hear them anymore because you're so distracted by what's happening. And so what I'm hearing you say is it's the same thing with the way we dress or our colors. If it's off, it becomes so distracting that, and again, this is such a subtle thing that people kind of stop hearing you and stop listening to you because they're so distracted by what's happening visually.
Absolutely.
I'm so thankful we had this conversation today. I cannot wait to have you on stage at the conference. Will you tell our listeners how they can find you? What's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, they can. Well, I have a gift that they could download.
Oh, amazing. Yes.
If they go to House of Iconic Style /Iconic, you could download the Iconic Woman Starter Pack in there. But they can find me on Instagram at Afton Porter.
Awesome. And so we'll make sure that we put that in the show notes. So houseoficonicstyle.com/iconic, and they'll be able to get that little starter pack. So that's incredible. So thank you. Afton, thank you so much for your time today. I can't wait to see you in September.
I can't wait to see you in person.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Empowering Women in Real Estate, the podcast. Click subscribe to be notified every Wednesday when our latest episode is released, and be sure to check out our group on Facebook.